Hello everybody, Rohacker here. Welcome back to the second tutorial in my scripting series, Noob to Pro. Today I'm going to teach you guys how to use variables. Let's begin. So what exactly are variables? Variables are essentially containers that hold information, such as strings and numbers. There are plenty of other types of data that a variable can hold. Variables can be found in most video games. All video games. For example, most video games have a point system. The game probably uses variables to store your points data. You may be thinking, that's great, how do I create a variable? Well, I'll show you. Creating your first variable is like plugging a formula into your calculator. Like, if you were wanting to get the square root of a number, you type in the square root and then input the number. Actually, no, a better example can be seen if you want to find the area of a circle. For example, the area of a circle is pi r squared. And if you wanted to get the area of a circle, you would plug in pi and the radius squared. There's a similar equation to creating a variable. First, let's open our script and then we'll discuss the formula. So the formula for creating the variable is essentially just local variable name is equal to value. And this variable name can be whatever you want it to be. You can change it to whatever you want as long as it doesn't start with a number in the beginning, like one variable name, and if it doesn't have symbols in it. So for instance, hi there exclamation mark wouldn't work as a variable name. However, variable names can have numbers at the end of the variable or in the middle. For instance, hi one there is a valid variable name. So an example of where a variable would be is if you're playing in an obby, you would spawn in stage 1. So if you were to create an obby, you would represent a stage number by typing in local stage number is equal to 1. No, unlike other scripting languages, Lua doesn't need semicolons after each line of code. I personally think that it's nice and that I don't need to waste my time adding in semicolons that I'll likely to forget to add anyways. And that's just me. Anyways, so what's happening here is that local stage number equals 1 is really saying set the value 1 equal to the stage number. Or you can think of it this way. Set the word stage number to reference the value 1. So basically set stage number is equal to 1. Now with these variables you can do many things with them, like arithmetic, checking if you passed a certain stage number, and more. But we won't cover those aspects in this tutorial. So let's just use something you guys are familiar with, print statements. First off, let's just print out the stage number by typing in print stage number, or just whatever variable you made. Please note that there are no quotation marks around a variable, as if you were to add quotation marks here, it would just print out stage number or just your variable's name verbatim. So as you can see here, I added quotations around this print statement and no quotations around this print statement. And when I press play, as you can see, console, the first one types in 1, which is the one without the quotation marks, and the one with quotation marks printed out stage number verbatim. You can assign more than just numbers as a value in the variable by just changing the value outside the equal sign. For example, I can change this right value to, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm just going to change it to, I don't know, man. And if I were to print it out, it would print out, it would print out, I don't know, man. And since this value is inside of a quotation mark, it is called a string. So I have a challenge for you all if you are following along. Try to make a variable called points and set that equal to the number value 0. Next, print out the variable points. Remember that since you are printing out a variable, do not include quotation marks around it. Feel free to pause the video as I'll give you a few seconds to figure out how to solve it. Okay, so here's the solution to the problem. So what's happening here is that I created the variable named points, and I set it equal to the value 0. Then I printed it out. Notice how I did not have quotation marks around the print statement, as if I did, it would just print out points as it is textually, whereas instead of printing out 0. Also, Notice how when I printed out 0, I also notice how when I set points equal to 0, I did not have quotation marks around it. Because if I had quotation marks around it like this, it would be a string value instead of a number value. If you made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back as you have just learned about basic variables. Now that wasn't so hard, was it? As always, thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video. And as always, if you have questions, be sure to leave them in the comments down below. And if you guys want me to, I'll make a second video answering any questions about variables.